Hey guys, it's Melanie. So today I have a review for you of the brand new LORAC Mega Pro 4 eyeshadow palette. I snagged this off of the Ulta website as soon as it was released, and I've had it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks at this point. I've been playing with it a lot, and I feel like I'm finally ready to give you like a solid review on this palette. This is an Ulta exclusive, I believe, and it is $59, so it is more expensive than some of the other palettes out there. LORAC does come out with these palettes every holiday season. I will compare the Mega Pro 4 to the Mega Pro 3 and the original Mega Pro. I don't have the two. That one just honestly really didn't appeal to me. And truthfully, this one, when I first saw it leaked on Instagram, I was like, oh, it's pretty, and I'll probably get it. But I wasn't crazy excited about it when I saw the pictures of it. I have to tell you guys, this is much prettier in person than it is in pictures and on camera. I feel like this is something that maybe you have to see in person, but if you are thinking that this doesn't really appeal to you because it comes off in kind of this like almost springy type of vibe, like it almost seems like this is a more appropriate palette to release maybe in March or April versus September, October for the holiday season. But it's different in person. It really is. And I can tell you that I am much more impressed with it now that I have it. I also think that they did something to this formulation. It is, compared to the other palettes and even the, just regular pro palettes, this formula, I feel, is even easier to blend. It doesn't get muddy as quickly, and it seems to be smoother and have less fallout. Those are the things that I've noticed in the last like week and a half playing with this thing, that it's almost easier to work with. Now, I have loved the LORAC Pro eyeshadow formula, obviously, for a few years. I thought it was a great formula to begin with, but I do think that they've done something to this one to improve it even further. And it's really great to work with, you guys. Again, on camera, this is not going to do this palette justice. I'll be totally honest, you guys. The colors, I feel like, are just so much more vibrant and prettier in person, and they just look beautiful on the eyes. I've been able to do so many neutral looks with this. Most of what you've seen in my recent videos, I tend to pre-record a lot, so what you've seen probably for the last 2 weeks has been from this palette. You get the traditional 2 rows of mattes and 2 rows of shimmers, and I will hold it side by side with these other palettes. I'll do that at the end of the video. I have used quite a number of the shades in here at this point, and I have to admit there are some shades in here that I'm probably not really going to get a whole lot of use out of. For example, the Vamp, the Raven, the Peacock, and the Lagoon shades, this kind of quad right here. I don't do a lot of smoky eye looks, but what I will use these for, and this Moss shade as well, I don't wear a whole lot of green. But what I will use these for is lining my lower lash line to give just a pop of color. They're beautiful shades, you guys. I mean, this Peacock shade is to die for beautiful. The Lagoon is really just a beautiful gray, like really deep pewter gray. Moss, even this green, it's a beautiful green. And I mean, they swatch incredibly well, you guys. They swatch beautifully. They also, surprisingly, apply really nicely with a brush. Now, most of the time when I apply my lid shades, especially if they're shimmer, I like to use my fingers because I feel like I get a better punch of shimmer and color. Sometimes when you use a brush, you get a much more sheer application. With this, I've found with a lot of these shimmer shades on the bottom here that I've tried, I can actually use, this is my favorite shader, by the way, it's from Zoeva, it's their Luxe Classic shader. I can actually use this and apply the lid shade and get almost the same effect as when I use my finger. It's not quite as intense, but it's the closest out of really a lot of the shimmer shades that I have in my eyeshadow collection. These matte shades on the top blend so beautifully, and the colors are amazing for everyday wear. If you are someone who only wants to have like a few palettes in your collection, which I think is probably the vast majority of people out there, people don't necessarily want to buy every single eyeshadow palette, they don't have room to store them, they don't want to spend the money on that. I feel like out of all of the holiday eyeshadow releases that I've seen so far, this is definitely one of my favorites. It's beautiful. You've got some warm shades in here. You do have some cool shades. Like I said, you've got these beautiful brights. You've got these beautiful neutrals. Like they're just, I think this is a really nice palette, you guys. I really like it. I'm so glad that I have it in my collection. Like I said, I've been able to create just a ton of different looks that are very neutral because that's what I tend to go for. But I can totally jazz up a look by popping any of these brighter shades on my lower lash line, just a thin line, kind of smoke it out a little bit. They're so pretty, you guys. Now, you know, there will always be a few shades in every eyeshadow palette, at least for me personally, that I won't get much use out of. But overall, I think the value for the amount of product, the amount of variety, the amount of finishes is, I think it's a good deal. $59 is expensive, but if you're only buying 1 or 2 eyeshadow palettes this holiday season, I really do think this is one worth considering. Like I said, the shades are just, they're so pretty, you guys. The matte ones, like I said, blend so easily. I do think they changed something with this formula. Not that this formula is bad, for me personally. I know there are some people that don't care for this, but I've always really liked this. I do think there's something different about this. I can't say that for sure because I haven't compared the ingredient decks to the different palettes from this one, but I just feel like there's something different about this. So let's go ahead, and you do get like a nice size mirror. By the way, let's talk about packaging. It's the exact same. I mean, it's the same size, same, you know, width. It's that same rubberized, it's like this rubberized finish over cardboard, basically. I think this is pretty easy to travel with. It's thin. I mean, I wouldn't like throw it in a suitcase necessarily, but I would feel comfortable putting something like this in a carry-on that I know wasn't gonna get dinged around a whole lot. This does have a magnet closure, so, I mean, you know, always put maybe a rubber band around it if you're gonna travel with it, but I don't imagine this like popping open in your suitcase or anything, but great for travel because you have a huge variety of shades. If you're going on like a 1 or 2 week vacation, this would be the perfect thing to bring along. So let's go ahead and compare it. So I'm giving this 2 thumbs up, by the way, you guys. I'm really glad that I have it. I love it. And I'm glad that I have it with my other ones because I get a lot of use out of these bad boys. All right, let's compare it with number 1. So there's a side by side. Obviously the original is on top. Mega Pro 4 is on the bottom. I never purchased the second one because I didn't really love all the shades that were in that one. So I knew I wasn't gonna get as much use out of that one. This original one obviously just has a ton of neutrals. You're getting a lot more pops of colors with these latest renditions of this palette, but I mean, you'd have to. I mean, you can't keep putting this out. You could. And she has actually re-released this, by the way. I think they only did it on their website, but this did come out again. A lot of companies are doing that, I'm noticing. They just keep releasing stuff. even though it was limited edition. Now, this one was really, really pretty. This was last year's. This is the Mega Pro 3. I really like this one. There's a lot of really great neutrals in this one. And I want to say, did this one come out again as well? I can't recall. I know the original definitely did, but anyway, so here are, obviously, 4 is on the top, 3 is on the bottom. You can see, again, you're getting more color in this one than you have in the previous one. So I'll compare 1 and 3 for you guys as well, so you can see those there. So again, lots of neutrals, which I love, which is why I have loved these palettes in my collection. But yeah, a little more color on this one, but honestly, usable colors. Like I said, these shades here, like this Peacock, use it as a lower lash line shade. You know, if you're not like putting on a smoky eye once or twice a week, probably not going to get a ton of use out of that, but it's easy enough to just use it as a regular liner. I mean, I would totally just use this as my liner on top as well, on my upper lash line. So I really like this guy. I kind of think if you're on the fence about it, you might need to see it in person. Don't rely on the pictures that you've seen on Instagram. Don't rely on videos that you've seen, because I know this video is not going to do it justice. I didn't love it as much as I love it until I actually got my hands on it and I started putting it on my eyes. This is something very easy to use. I mean, it's almost one of those like no-brainer palettes for me personally, because I can take any of these matte shades on the top here, just pop them in my crease, and then pick any one of these shimmer shades on the bottom, put it on my lid, and just be done. Like, you know, and then use the darker shades. I've been using the dark chocolate, by the way, and the shadow, these 2 shades. This is what you've seen me lining my upper lash line with, so I don't use pencil liners anymore. I just use powder, and these are definitely dark enough and deep enough in saturation to make a beautiful liner. So I'm a fan, you guys. I'm really glad that I have this. I think it's a great part of the collection for me personally. And yeah, I would definitely recommend checking it out. If you're remotely interested in it, I think it's worth checking out. If you're on the fence, maybe go to Ulta and see it in person, swatch it. There is something different about the formula. I really, truly believe that. And I just got this all over my sweater. Luckily, I'm wearing black today. Anyway, let me know if you guys have any questions down below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Take care.